Hey, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. It's your boy Pascal.
And your girl Sandy.
And welcome to another Real Beef with S&P live show. Now, listen, guys, I know we didn't do one yesterday. We were busy. We had a lot of other things going on, okay?
Yes.
But
Technical
of course,
difficulties.
but we couldn't go another week without actually giving you guys some updates on some stories.
Yes.
And this main one that's been just going crazy all over the internet. Okay, so please do us a favor, hit that like button down below. Be sure to hit it, crush it, crush it, crush it. Also, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you're checking this show out for the first time, come on, we have a really good time over here.
Yes,
we got a very fast, quick live for you guys, but we couldn't go without talking about this story. Let's keep it real, right, Sandy?
Yeah, this is huge, you guys, and we want to know your thoughts.
Definitely.
There's a lot going on.
Yes. So please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button down below. Get ready for a very fun and insightful conversation because we need to talk about this. And I'm really glad that we are talking about this together as a family. And let me just be completely real.
Yes.
Because this is crazy. Okay. Now,
insane.
Yeah, crazy, insane, and insane crazy. Yeah. Okay, there's a lot going on here. As you guys already know, if you guys have been watching my channel, I've been covering this quite a bit. But if you guys are still like late to the game, late to the party, and all that, there is a 25-year-old woman by the name of Carlee Russell that went missing last week. Okay, right before the weekend, she pulled up on the side of the interstate in Hoover, Alabama, claiming to have seen a toddler. Yeah, a toddler in pitch black. She pulled over, saw this toddler, called 911 first, told them that she saw a toddler on the side of the road. She wanted to, of course, render aid to this kid. So she got out of the car, was on 911, hung up with 911, called one of her friends or one of her relatives' girlfriends, if I'm correct. All right. Mm-hmm. And while she was on the phone with said relative's girlfriend, she was taken. They said that the phone, everything went silent on her end. You can just hear her screaming in the background with traffic noise in the background. And she just went, disappeared like a ghost. Okay. Yep. Now, the whole world was going crazy over this. Okay. I mean, I have been going crazy over this. Okay. Yes. We all have been going crazy over this. Not only, things have been going crazier because of the end result, but at first, everyone was doing exactly what we should have been doing, sharing her name, hashtagging, bringing awareness to the whole world to let people know that there was a young 25-year-old black woman taken against her will, and she could be out here being rush-houred, for lack of a better term, okay? So, a few days later, approximately about 49 hours from the time that she was taken, because remember, 48 hours is crucial. That is, the first 48 hours is crucial when somebody is taken, especially when it comes to an abduction, okay? Yep. First 48 is huge, okay? Liam Neeson's, okay?
That part.
Crucial, all right? So, 49 hours later, she shows up at the front door, knocking on the front door of her parents' home, alive and safe. Again, the world was extremely happy about this. Yes. All right. We were all happy, y'all. But then we started looking at stuff. The world started looking at pieces of information. In fact, the world was already looking at information before she was found. And a lot of questions were being brought up, like what really happened here and what the hell's going on?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Did Liam Neeson show up and have his set of skills and I'm going to find you and I will kill you kind of thing? Did that happen?
Right.
Or is this one big ass hoax? Or is this woman having a mental health crisis? Okay. So that's the three choices that we have right now. There's been a lot of things that have been transpiring. We are going to be talking about a couple of those things. But like I said, we couldn't go another day without talking about this.
Absolutely.
Especially with everything, like how we have led up to this moment. It is absolutely insane. So before we look into everything and talk about everything, I want to hear your thoughts on this, Sandy. Let's talk about when you first heard the story.
That part. Yep. I was literally about to say what it was like when the news broke, you guys.
Yes.
Listen, I mean, when this story came out, I was so like, oh my God, praying for her. I mean, to hear that she had seen a toddler, a child on the road that, pulled over to try to help, and then just for her to completely disappear. It was just one of those things, especially on the interstate. It's like, whoa, but what's going on? What happened? Was she abducted? And here's the thing, my mind went straight to a lot of the traps that are out here now that criminals use to abduct children, to kidnap people in general, right? So you already know. If you don't know, there's people who will literally, trick people into all kinds of situations. Okay, putting cones in the middle of the street just to have you get out your car in the middle of the night to move the cone so that you can actually go down the street. And at that point, you get abducted or kidnapped or whatever happens from there, right? There are so many of those.
Right. They're getting super crafty, right? I mean,
exactly.
And it's not a far-fetched idea of them using a toddler as bait to lure somebody in, right?
Absolutely.
Because
so that's
we've heard those kind of crazy stories.
Right. Yeah. So that's the first thing I thought. I was like, oh my God. And we hear it all the time. We see it all the time. There's been so many of these situations that have happened. So in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, and yet another, right? And so when that happened, I was just like, oh my God, this poor girl. I mean, she was literally trying to help this young child that she saw. And anyone, okay, who sees a child on a street, a road, or whatever, in a park, at a playground, whatever the case may be, that's walking around alone, you're naturally by default going to help, right? So I'm like, this poor woman was just trying to do this, and look where she's at now. Lord God, please, let's find this woman, right? Now, the other side of it too is, in our community, okay, kidnappings and those types of things aren't making the news like this now is, right? And so first things first, it was like, we need to get this out there. We need to let people know to find her, because these are the types of things, especially for us, okay, us specifically, that don't make the news, right? We don't get the same attention as some of the other kidnappings, abductions, etc. So in my mind, I'm just like, this has to make news. This has to be blown up. We need to let everybody know that this woman is out here, and it's important. Like you said, first 48 is the most crucial time to find the clues, to do whatever needs to happen to be able to find this woman. Okay. So I'm literally just praying. And I remember putting my phone down after I saw the story and literally praying, saying, please, God, find this woman. Please help them find this woman, and find this woman alive and okay. Okay. And then after that, it was seeing the reactions from other people. And it was what was so incredible, because this is kind of like where it started, and then kind of where we are now is a completely opposite situation. But to see so many people reshare, repost, post again, okay, celebrities, influencers with large followings, literally taking time to specifically put this woman out, to make it known, hashtag say her name, putting all of this out there, like, and it gives me chills even now as I'm telling you this, right? To see that was incredible. Okay, because very few of these situations in our community, for our people, get this recognized. Yeah. So I was so happy that people were standing behind her, behind the family, behind this. Okay. And I was just praying.
Can I interject really quick?
Absolutely.
Let me just say this to everyone that's watching right now, that's looking at this and listening to the show. And for those of y'all who are watching the replay right now, first off, I want to say thank you to, or I think we all want to say thank you to every single last one of y'all that were hashtagging her name, spreading awareness about this, donating to the Crime Stoppers reward money. They raised over $63,000. Okay, I think it was like $63,387.58 to be exact. I mean, that's a lot of quiche. Okay, and the fact that they were able to raise that money so quickly is pretty damn amazing. Okay, but we have to be real here, and I know some people get really upset when you start throwing in the race card, when you start talking about race, but it is true. It is very difficult for people of color,
Yes.
to have the word, to get the word out there, to show awareness about their abduction, or if they've been taken. Also, it's the same thing for men, just men in general. It's very hard for people to go, what happened to such and such,
Yep.
especially when it's male. So it's males and people of color that is very hard, unless it's some sensational title, right? They're taken in some sensational way. It becomes really big, like a really big news, or whatever. So because what happened with this situation is unprecedented.
Yep.
It was shocking. I was like, whoa, everybody's sharing this.
Yep.
Everyone's looking into this.
Yep.
Everyone gives a damn, which I really appreciate. But now,
what was your
I'm
reaction
upset.
though when you first heard it?
Oh, I was really concerned. I was one of the first. I'm not going to sit here and go, I was one of the first. Sorry. But I was one of first of many to get out here, get in front of the camera and go, we need to say her name. We need to hashtag. We need to share this. We need to get the word out here as quickly as possible.
Absolutely.
That was the thing. Okay. But now, as time has gone on, oh my God. Now I'm a little upset. Like I'm a little upset, but at the same time, I'm waiting for, there's a press conference at 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's going to be happening. The Hoover PD is going to be coming out with more information. I know I'm getting ahead of myself here right now, but yeah, they got some information that we are going to be watching. And I'm sorry for plugging, but check it out on my show when you get it, when you can. I will be streaming it live. Hopefully there'll be a nice clean stream to watch, because it will be live, and I'm here for it. Okay, so when I first initially found out about it, that's how I felt. I was like, oh my Lord, this is terrible. Especially, I just saw that movie Sound of Freedom. So I was already feeling some type of way about and that's a very powerful movie. I highly recommend everybody go and check it out. But it's talking about child, human trafficking, especially with little kids and all that. It's very, very moving. But when that movie came out, saw it, and then this was right around the same time that I saw this movie, I feel like a lot of other people had just seen the movie too. So they were feeling like, we need to make a change. We need to get this girl back home to her family safely as quickly as possible. But now there's been a few things that have been weird. Now, let's, I got a few things. Let me show it to you guys. Okay. Now, if you watch my show, I know you're going to be taking a trip down memory lane, but I just wanted to hear Sandy's opinions about this stuff. But I wanted to share
quite interesting.
It is interesting as hell. So I wanted to share with you guys. Now, we already seen this. Okay. Right. But this is something that we've all been playing over and over and over again, scratching our heads, because she pulls up, and I know this is apparently this is the second time that she pulls over on the side of the road, because apparently she pulled over one time, then she drove off, flipped a bitch, banged a Yui, okay, went back around, and then slowed down to this area again, okay? But she slows to a stop and says, there's a kid. Like apparently she was on the phone with family or something like that. She gets off the phone to call 911. Then she hangs up. She disconnects with 911 as she's getting out of the car and all that stuff. She's talking to 911, saying that there's a kid on the side of the road. She disconnects with 911, calls that family relative or family friend, family girlfriend, whatever. All right. And then that's when she is taken, right? Now, one thing, apparently there was a tussle, or apparently there was something, because she was snatched so hard, her wig came off. So her wig was left behind, cell phone, Apple Watch. I feel naked if I don't wear this. You know what I'm saying? I'm always wearing this. Apple Watch was left. What's that again?
I'm a Fitbit girl.
Oh, okay. But still, you know what I'm saying? That you feel naked without having that on, right?
Yeah.
So she had that in her purse. Okay. The cell phone was on the floor or on the ground outside of the car, in the grass, and her wig and the hat that she was wearing. Okay. And then she was allegedly taken during this time. Now, the whole world was sitting there looking at this and going, what the hell's going on? What happened? because we don't see a car pull up. Last I checked, a car does not pull up. So what the hell is going on here?
That was literally my first reaction before any
Yeah.
of this stuff came out. When this footage came out, I was like, and I remember talking to my husband, and I was like, I call my husband Juice. I'm like, Juice, look at this footage. This doesn't match what the story is saying. And I kept replaying it and replaying it. And then I would like, you know how you can, use your fingers to pinch it open. I was like, this just doesn't make sense. I'm like, unless it happened on another part of the road, but I'm like, I don't see none of what the story is saying looked apparent in that video. So that was my first question mark.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, Lord God, just find her. That was it.
Yeah. So when you see that, right, you see this and it's like, what? What's going on here? What's the real truth going on? Because I don't understand this piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
No car pulls up. Then, of course, there's been some other people that have been like, yo, if you go and check out if you zoom in, there's a truck back there. You can see it. I looked at that and I'm like, I ain't see no truck. I don't see no truck. Then then there's been other people saying, oh, there's a guy in a white tee that shows up and comes out from the tree line. Because apparently, if you see my mouse, there's a tree line back here, okay, in the darkness, okay. So let me just point out, she saw a 3 to 4 year old toddler wearing a t-shirt and diaper. She saw this child in pitch black on the side of an interstate. Now, I don't know how fast this interstate is, but usually they're about 65, 70, maybe 75, right? And it's pitch black. So how would you see this kid? Now, she does, bang a Yui,
right,
and go back down again, right? She double backs, right? She double backs. So I get it that maybe she saw the kid whipping by her. She's driving. She's like, whoa, there's a kid there. What?
Right.
And then she drives off and does her thing. Okay. But, oh, man.
Why didn't anybody else make a call for that same very thing? That's the other question.
That's the other question.
Why were there not multiple calls to the police saying that they saw it? Because if she saw it, someone else had to have seen it too. That was question mark number 2 before all this came out for me.
Math ain't mathin'.
Not at all.
The math ain't mathin' right now. And so for me, for a while now, I've been thinking this could be a mental crisis, a mental health crisis. That maybe she saw something, maybe she's having some sort of psychosis, some sort of psychotic break. And she's seeing some mirage, some visage that doesn't even exist, right?
Right.
So, and I feel like that's what right now there's I think only 2 choices on the table right now. Okay. But before last night, let's just say that there was 3 choices. Either she really was taken, she had a mental health crisis, or this is one fat ass lie. Okay. Right. Another juicy. All right. Just to smell it. All right. Now, staying on that course of 3 different choices, a lot of people were split between 3. A lot of people, but more people, it seemed like, were leaning towards the mental health crisis, not the she was really taken type of situation. Right. And then there's a lot of people that are thinking this girl just straight up just made up a fat ass lie for whatever reason she did. We don't know. Okay. So now there's been more stuff. So let me just pull up a few things. Of course I have all this stuff archived.
My Lord.
And there's a bunch of ish to look at. So let me just
turn out a case we've been
let me just show you guys. Hold on.
Alabama.
This thing is tripping.
Of the woman who vanished.
Come on. Okay. So let me so one thing I want to show you guys. I'm not going to show you the whole doggone thing, okay? Because we don't want to get flagged, we don't want to get in trouble.
Right.
And this is today morning show. They don't mess around. So there are a few things. I have a bookmark spot that I want to share. Now, again, she came home. Let's not forget that. After 49 hours, she showed up on foot to her home. Okay?
Yep.
Apparently, she was, from reports from the family, or from reports, they were saying, actually, I don't even know if it was actually from the family or not, but from reports, they were saying that first responders showed up and that she was unresponsive, but still breathing.
Right.
So in other words, she had a very intense anxiety attack, or maybe she was in a deep shock, like some very intense shock, to the point where she was maybe hyperventilating and just in a dead stare, right?
Yep.
So that's important to hear. The parents have come out and have made statements before this came out. Their statement basically said, "Thank God, thank you everybody who prayed for us. We will address things when the time comes, but we need time to heal." But then the boyfriend came out with a statement. And of course, I'm summarizing like a mug.
Yeah.
But the boyfriend also came out. He was the first to come out with a statement, actually.
Like a real one.
To be completely correct. But he was the one saying, "We're happy. Thank you to God. Thank you to my church mates. Thank you to my family, friends, teammates, etc." She was fighting for her life for 48 hours. That's what he says. Roughly paraphrasing. Okay. And he said, "We just need time to heal, blah, blah, blah." Right?
Right.
So then after all that stuff came out, and I'm summarizing like a mug, okay, we're all sitting there going, okay, we ain't going to hear from him till maybe this weekend, something like that. Suddenly they get an interview. The parents do an interview. And I'm like, duh, what? Okay. I ain't tripping over that. I'm here for it. If you got some information, let it flow, let it go. Right?
Right.
So there's a part here that I do want to play. Okay. This and I put it back a little bit because one, the mom was like, yeah, we at first, because I'm not going to play the whole thing.
Right.
But one of the clips is the mother sits there and says, because they said, what did the reporter asked her, what did you do right when you saw the kid, right when you saw your daughter? And she said, we tried to go and hug her, but the first responders were there. They needed to take care of her and all that stuff. In my mind, I thought maybe they didn't want to tamper with evidence because she could be carrying DNA. And that if they put their bodies all over her, they could lose DNA. I mean, that is just an uneducated guess from my part, but that's what I thought, right?
Right.
Now, this part is something that I found interesting. So let's take a listen to this. Again, boyfriend said what again? That she was fighting for her life for 48 hours, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Let's hear this. It's a few seconds early, so the questions come. I'll let you guys know.
Her mother asking to read a brief message to the public.
Carlee has given detectives her statement so that they can continue to pursue her abductor.
Do you believe that there's an abductor still out
Right here.
there?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
NBC News has reached out.
I think that's enough to hear.
Right.
Go and check out the full interview if you want. But the main takeout of this interview was the fact that she said, the mama said herself, she said that the monster is still out there. He's still out there lurking. Okay. Very important information to hear, guys. And Sandy. Very important information to hear.
Yep.
Okay. So
very much noted.
When you
I caught that too.
Right. So when you hear that, what do you think so far? What's going through your mind so far?
I'm not gonna even front. When I saw the interview, when I watched the interview, and this is before all of this stuff came out, because here's the thing, I'm a Law and Order girl. I love trying to figure shit out. Okay.
What's her name?
Right.
Wait. Are you talking about the one with Ice-T, or you mean the other one?
Oh yeah, Ice-T, SVU. I watched
okay.
all of them. Criminal Intent. Criminal Intent's not on anymore. I've watched all of them, y'all. So
yeah.
I like to figure shit out, but there were so many things that weren't lining up to me from that drop of the video of the interstate. So naturally, I was glued to the video when they came out, for their interview. So that was one of the first things that I noticed. I also kind of felt their demeanor wasn't that of parents that their child had gone through something like what we thought she went through. So me personally, I kind of caught some of that too. Okay. Also the way they responded to the interviewer in regard to the questions about
Right.
Asking more details about the, the actual events that happened, the events that followed, and how quickly they were just to say, we can't really go into any of that. And if you are familiar with any other situations that have occurred like this, when it comes to anything that's been public, hit on the news, placed on the news, there's never hesitation to share some of what occurred. Maybe not all of, right? Because there is an ongoing investigation,
Right.
but some of, to a point where we get an idea of what occurred, what happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was held against her will. We're still trying to figure out what happened, yada, yada, yada. But there's a little bit more to it. And they were so quiet as kept. It was mum's the word when they got to that part, to the point where the interviewer reacted to.
Right.
So there were a lot of these little things that during the interview, I was questioning the parents. I was questioning the responses. I was questioning the emotion. I think how they responded, how they said how they reacted to her when they saw her.
Okay, so
I was questioning it all.
Wait. So if this is a hoax, right? If this is a hoax, do you think that the parents are in on it?
I don't think the parents are in on it, in my personal opinion, from what I can see now. When I say that, I mean in on it from the jump, right? Do I think that they may be trying to protect her in some capacity in this interview? Yes.
I mean, clearly they're trying to protect her.
Based on not just protecting in general from what we are supposed to think happened, right? But protecting her from the scrutiny of what really happened.
See now, sweetheart, I'm going to have to say this. If it is a lie,
there's something fishy.
If this is a lie, I think that the parents have been bamboozled. I think the boyfriend has been bamboozled.
That's what I'm saying.
Why would they go and ruin their own integrity, their
reputation,
own reputation to just die on a hill? And I get it, the things you'll do for your kids, right? But I also will say, never underestimate the power of denial as well.
Absolutely.
Especially when you do nothing but love that child and go, no, she's a good kid. So just on the hoax side of the conversation, that's a piece where I'm like, man, I don't know. Why would they die on that hill though?
Right.
That's bad. They could lose the father if it's a dual earning family. They could lose their jobs for this kind of situation. Like putting on this whole act like this. If they were in on it, oh my God.
Criminal charges too, by the way. Criminal charges too, by the way.
Exactly. So that would not be good, y'all. That would
because
not
she's home now.
be good.
So at that point, they've talked to her. They know what transpired, or at least you think they know what transpired over that course of time, right? It may not be what it is that we've been told occurred during that time frame. So as a parent, if they were not in on it, you're going to naturally do whatever you can to protect your child. You're not going to say, well, unfortunately, she had a mental break and, this was all a hoax, or she lied to us. They're not going to do that either, because you're going to be in parent protection mode. You're going to protect your child.
But I would prefer for them to lean on, she had a mental break. Yep,
of
that's
course,
what it was.
Sure, because you want the truth.
Exactly. Well, even if
we all want the truth.
But I'm going to be real, even if it wasn't the truth. And that might be the avenue they go
down.
No,
that would have been a better route, because if she lied, there's criminal possible charges for all of them if the parents were in on it. But it's more specifically for her if she lied.
But like I said, they might lean on, it's a mental break.
Yeah.
Just to save her ass.
Absolutely.
Just to say that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was a mental break. It was a mental break. You know what I mean? She just had a bad thing, and then pop, she just had this. She just had this mirage, show up in front of her. If it is a hoax. Now, okay, we got to get into a couple of things because we don't have a whole lot of time, unfortunately, guys. Because in this a crazy ass story.
There's so many fucking moving parts in this shit. It's crazy.
So much going on. Okay, so, oh my God. All right, so they were...
When your voice goes up an octave, you know it's real. Okay.
Okay. So we heard them say, yes, there was an abductor, right? And he's still lurking. All right.
Right.
So somehow Liam Neeson's she became her own Liam Neeson's. All right. Went in here and kicked ass and took names. Okay. Got home and she's safe. And no matter what, here at the end of the day, I'm happy that she's safe, regardless if this is a hoax, if this is a mental health crisis, or if she really was held against her will. No matter what, she's home safe. And
absolutely.
you guys were generous with your time, your energy, your heart to just put her name out there. And I want that same energy on every other situation that's out here for these missing kids that are out here, these missing individuals that are out
people
here.
of color, please.
Exactly. I have to say that too. I concur. Now, we heard all those things. Now, one of the things that I do want to point out, okay, there was a lot of concern over, oh, this was like a hoax to get money. Like this was a quick money grab. And then there was also a rumor being said about Red Roof Inn, that she called from Red Roof Inn to her parents saying that she was at Red Roof Inn. Okay. Now there is a new statement or a recent statement. So the mom made a statement after she came home saying, thank you, God, Lord Jesus. You know what I mean? God did, right? Then she went on the Today Show and she said what she said. There's an abductor still out here. Oh, and she also she did also address the fact that there has been a lot of rumors going on in the social media world, in these social media streets, as I like to call it.
Yep.
And it doesn't help because we don't know what is true. And that's frustrating because it's a screenshot. I could write something like, Puff the Magic Dragon came out, swooped down and took her off into lollipop land, and she just ate nothing but licorice, and she was hanging out with a redheaded boy named Toby Cletus. You know what I'm saying? Like at some point, anybody could screenshot something and say, "Oh, that is the truth," right?
Right.
So she was like, the rumor mill is going crazy. We need to stop this. So I'm just going to point out a couple bullets here. So she said, and I might be bouncing back and forth or around this thing, but one thing that pops out, she says, we did not create or authorize any GoFundMe accounts or solicited money from anyone. Okay. So she said, we did not, this was not a quick money grab. This was not us trying to attempt to get rich off of her missing. Let's be real. If the family really was trying to get a quick buck, right, they would have had her missing longer. They would have been like, no,
well, they would have done all of that.
Right.
Period.
They would have been
they would have benefited from that.
Exactly.
Because people would have donated.
Imagine her knocking on the door though. And they're like, no, shoot, go. What? Here,
you're supposed to be gone for 2 more days.
Here's a loaf of bread and some peanut butter. Go.
Right.
Go.
Get your ass out.
Get your ass out.
We 10,000 away from 100,000.
Exactly.
You feel me?
We about to get this money, girl.
Girl, get your ass out of here.
What the hell you doing here?
Lord.
Oh, okay. Got to relieve some of this tension. My Lord.
Right. Let's at the end of the day, we are not making light of the situation.
No.
Okay. In the sense, it's just it is a very serious story, but there's a lot that you can, you know what I mean? That we scratching our head on.
This was not a money. I don't think it was a money grab. I really think the parent. Well, if it's a hoax, the parents were bamboozled.
That's what I think the parents.
I'm gonna say, on God, I think the parents got bamboozled.
Right. We don't know, but we do. Yeah.
Right. Never underestimate the power of denial. But then they said, they said that her physical and mental health is their immediate concern. The traumatic experience, Carlee. This has been a traumatic experience for not only themselves, but also for Carlee. Obviously, there's an ongoing investigation going on, obviously, as well. They say that hopefully the detectives in 5-0 are out here pursuing the abductor. Okay. But the interesting part that I found, the parts that stuck out to me, okay, was one, they addressed.
It's the same thing I saw. Go ahead.
One, they still said, please understand our mental state, the anguish we have just experienced, and that Carlee is still dealing with, and understand that no matter how many demands or false narratives that are produced, we will not be bullied into doing anything that will compromise our daughter's mental well-being or the investigation, which I totally get it. I get it.
Absolutely.
Now, the other part is the last paragraph right here. Because she was heated. I feel like she was mad as hell in this statement. That's just what I think. This whole statement. She's like, enough is enough. Here it is. I'm going to protect my kid. I'm going to protect our name.
Right.
And this is the hill we're standing on. So she says, there is one terrible, heartless hoax we want to address out of several, because there are many.
Many.
And that man, they're saying that she was flunking out of nursing school. She was on drugs, and she was
out there
getting
trying
dumped
to
by
go
the
get some
boyfriend.
extra D. Yeah.
No, and then also they said something along the lines of that she got caught stealing from her job that day. Like
Oh my
some
God.
crazy.
I
No,
haven't
but
heard
these,
that one.
but that is rumor stuff. That there's no confirmation of this at all. But the job made a statement too.
Lord have mercy, God.
There's so much going on. Okay. And I will be reading it in the in my live today. Okay. But they made a statement as well, which kind of goes, what the F is going on here?
Right.
So maybe some of the rumors are true, but still it is sloppy and it's throwing everybody off. So they said, heartless hoax we want to address. This is important because this has to do with the Red Roof Inn rumor. So she said, I received a text at some point from someone claiming to be Carlee and that she was at Red Roof Inn. Now, there was a story about the Red Roof Inn situation where they said that they received a phone call. That's what the rumor was saying. And that truckloads, like cars, started pulling up at Red Roof Inn. People like pouring out of these cars, just running around, knocking on a bunch of doors. This was what the rumor was saying in the rumor mill, right? Saying, oh, she'd been there the entire time. We don't know that for sure yet, okay?
Right.
But they did say, the mom said it was somebody faking to be Carlee, saying that she was at the Red Roof Inn. So of course, as family would do, if you went missing, Sandy, I got a random text saying, I'm at the Red Roof Inn, come get me. Man, you know, for a fact, our entire family would be pulling up. Okay. On even if it is, even if they don't have a ride, they'd be showing up on tricycle.
Right.
Okay.
Seriously.
So, however, when my family went there and knocked on the doors and looked for her, and there was no indication Carlee was there, nor that she had ever been there. And then she, of course, says, you know, if you have any questions or any more information, please contact Hoover PD or the ABI. Now, again, that was from the mom. That's what the mom said here. Okay. I'm going to make these quick because there's another piece here that we need to take a look at. So you heard that she's debunking the Red Roof Inn story. Okay. Now there's another one, as DJ Khaled would say, as the great Shakespearean quote, another one. All right. So this is from 50 Hoover PD.
Woo,
this is the thing that I talked about in a recent video. Please go check it out. But damn, does this throw a huge wrench in the machinery?
That part.
So we got to look at this fully, unfortunately. Okay, because there's a lot going on here. So the investigation into Carlee Russell's case continues as detectives are working to determine what happened from the time prior to her 911 call Thursday night until she returned home on foot. Remember, she returned home on foot Saturday night. Detectives spoke to Carlee very briefly upon her return home. So they only talked to her briefly. She hasn't really said much to 50 as of yet. And they are still waiting for her to be made available to obtain a more detailed statement about the sequence of events during that time frame. So they're trying to get to her. And apparently she hasn't said not a damn thing yet. Really. She said a little bit. Maybe she said, you know, somebody got me. I got to go. Maybe. We don't know. Okay. But they're still waiting to get more information, but they got information for us. That's a red flag for sure. Red flag city. It is a red flag city. Yeah. I don't know why I did that, but anyway, moving on. That was like a weird, creepy Michael Jackson-y type of, I don't know what I was doing. Please forgive me. Moving on. Red flag city though. While we are not in a position to reveal all of the information we have gathered at this point, we can talk about some details that we have not previously discussed. So buckle up, it gets bumpy. It gets bumpy. It gets very bumpy. First bullet. Let me blow this up a little bit bigger so you guys can see that. Okay. After leaving the Colonnade, Carlee went to Target on Highway 280 and purchased some snack food type items. Now, Cool. All right. Maybe she just had, maybe some munchies, some stuff like that,
Right.
extra things to take home because allegedly she was buying food for not only herself, but her parents as well on her way back to her crib because she lives with her parents. She currently lives with her parents because she is in nursing school. Just a quick reminder. Okay. She left work to pick up this food that she ordered from Colonnade, got that stuff, but instead of going straight to the highway where she was taken, she went to Target first and got some snacky foods. Okay. And of course, this is the next part that's big to me. Bombshell. These items were not located in the vehicle or with her cell phone and wig at the scene of her disappearance. So you're telling me not only did the Twizzlers, the Cheez-Its, the Sour Patch Kids, and them lemon pepper wings that she ordered, from Colonnade, all that stuff was not found when she was at the place of her disappearance. She took her food with her. So you're telling me either she just walked off with the food.
Hold up, though. No woman's gonna walk off with the snacks and leave her wig, child.
But I'm telling you that too. But I'm saying this too. Or you have an abductor with a heart of gold, or a really big appetite. And he was like, "What you got in here?
He or she?
What you got in here?
Right?
Lemon pepper wings? All right.
Right?
What?
Oh, I love Cheetos.
She
Takis
took
are my
Takis. She took them Takis. She took them Twizzlers. She took everything. That Target bag and the bag of food was not at the scene at all. That doesn't make any sense, y'all.
At all.
Okay? Or you got a very accommodating kidnapper. Okay? Oh, is this the bag? And we're going to take the food with us. During a tussle? Well, who has time to go run back and, the lemon pepper wings? Who got time for that? Okay.
Yep. Another question.
Okay.
When this stuff came out, I was like flabbergasted.
I mean, this is bad.
Flabbergasted.
This is bad.
But not surprised.
This is bad. So the HPD, second bullet, the HPD, has not located any evidence of a toddler walking down the interstate, nor did we receive any additional calls about a toddler walking down the street or walking down the interstate. Like you said, Sandy, despite numerous vehicles passing through that area as depicted by the traffic camera surveillance video. Boom. So nobody called and said, man, there's a little boy with a white shirt on and a diaper on the side of the road, on the side of the interstate. Where he go?
One call.
Not one.
Red flag when I first saw that.
And also,
when I first heard that story.
And also, let's not forget this too. No one called and said, "All right, there's a lady like fighting for her life on the side of the road. An abductor seems to be trying to take her." Nobody said anything.
Right.
So whose child is this?
Whose was there a child?
I mean, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
Where's the child? Is there any listing of a missing person situation going on? Or the other theory I thought is, if there was really a kid that was there, it could have been the abductor's child. That could be it too.
Right.
Right.
Doing the bait.
I mean, we got to play the benefit of the doubt.
We've talked about.
Right. We got to play the benefit of the doubt.
Absolutely.
So that too. But there's no reporting though. If we even take out all the, where's Carmen? Whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where is Sam? Forget that. Just the fact that they say that there is no calls from people driving by on the interstate saying that they saw the same thing that this young woman saw as well. Okay.
That's huge, guys. That's huge.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, that is huge.
Bullet 3. Detectives have obtained surveillance video. Okay. Detectives have obtained surveillance video from Carlee's neighborhood, which shows her walking down the sidewalk alone prior to her arrival at her residence. Fire department radio traffic obtained by several media outlets show the medics who were dispatched to her residence on an unresponsive but breathing person. Now, shout out to Iked Mel. Okay, he's another content creator out here, does really great work. He put out the dispatch call. He was the one who actually put out the audio of the dispatch talking about Carlee being unresponsive but breathing. So this is important. This is an important part here as well. Okay, that was the term used at the initial dispatch of the Hoover FD to the residents. That's what got them there. Okay, and the information about her condition was simply a dispatcher relaying information from what a 911 caller told the emergency communicator. So somebody was there, thought that she was unresponsive but breathing, made the phone call and said, she's unresponsive but breathing.
Right.
She's not looking at us. She's not talking. I'm so, you know what I mean? 911, we need you here. Okay, come here now. All right.
Right.
When first responders arrive on scene, they find Miss Russell conscious and speaking.
Yep.
And she was transported in that very condition. She was later treated and released from a local hospital. Now, one last piece, okay? Now, of course, well, actually, this is not a big bombshell, but they just said there's a lot more information that they're looking into.
Yep.
Okay, to be exact, what really happened during the 49 hours that she went missing, because she was literally missing for 49 hours, a little over 49 hours. Okay, maybe 15 minutes. Okay, but she was missing for 49 hours. All right, and obviously what took place prior to her disappearance. So they're doing everything they can. They are covering all the tracks. Okay, but this number 3 is a big chunk. One, the fact that she was walking down the sidewalk. She was walking. Now, let's be real. Unless she's a marathon runner, I don't think she's going to be running the entire time.
Right.
But if you know you're in your neighborhood and you're close to finding refuge, finding safety, I think I don't know about you, but I'd be booking my ass off.
We be power walking like a mofo, okay?
Right?
If I can't
power
run, we gonna power walk real quick because I'm
like
ecstatic to be alive and going home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Horde.
She walking with the slow bop home. Okay, walking with the slow bop home.
Super slow bop.
Right.
Okay. Super slow bop. Talvish just said, S&P, this happened very close to me here in Alabama. You know what? I would love to hear what the streets are saying right now as well. I'm very curious what the streets in, the Hoover streets are actually saying right now. Again, you see all that information. I know I did a very brief breakdown. I wish we had more time.
But look, there's
we got like
so
12,
many things from what the little things that you share. You know what I'm saying? The things that you shared, those are huge things, guys. Like literally, those facts shook the table.
Oh my Lord!
Totally debunks.
That was napalm.
Most of what was put out. That
was napalm.
Literally debunked almost every actual factual that was put out about this story.
So I'm still leaning on the fact that I can't even say it straight faced. I'm sorry. I'm leaning on the fact that it's a mental health issue, but I can't even say that with a straight face. I can't now. I mean, the 5-0 is going to come out in a couple hours, and they're going to drop oh my God. They're going to drop the bomb on her.
Interested to see what this
about to expose
what's going to be said at this, because the reality is, there are so many ways we could look at this. Before this recent stuff came out, the stuff that was just read, right? In my mind, as I was seeing, because remember, I was questioning this from the jump before anything came out, questioning what was put out there. Okay.
Right.
In my mind, I was like, man, could this have been a mental break?
Oh,
okay. Or was she just straight up lying? But the first thing I thought was mental break, right? Because I didn't want to believe that if it was a whole fabricated story, a whole lie, that someone would have gone, that she would have gone to such an extreme, right?
Right.
So in my mind, it could have easily been a mental issue, because the first thing I thought, why? Because those things I saw on the tape. And then, of course, the fact that no one has said that there have been multiple calls to 911. That would have come out with the story too. Multiple calls to 911, having seen a child on the road. She wouldn't have been the only person that would have seen a child on the road. And most definitely somebody would have pulled over if she was on the side of the road with a toddler trying to assist and aid in toddler, even if if the child hadn't been seen prior to her seeing that child. So there were so many things with this, right? So the first thing I thought, mental break, which is a little bit what I'm leaning towards. I want to believe that I would rather believe it's a mental break than it being a whole fabricated story. Because here's the thing.
I'm hoping
after
it is.
all of this, if it was
Lord.
a fabricated story, they will,
her life is ruined.
Criminal charges could be coming for her. And
yeah,
literally. And then I want them to check her phone records. You know what I'm saying? Check the phone records. I also want to see the parents' phone records. I ain't even gonna lie. I want them to see the phone records too of the parents too, just in case, cover all the bases, which I'm sure they're doing. Okay. But when they come out with this press conference, I cannot wait to see what they say, because this is literally the most mind-boggling story that has come out. But here's the other side, and I want to play. I really want to put this in perspective here. And please let me know if any of y'all feel me on this, and Pac, holler at me and let me know what you feel about this too.
I disagree already.
you gonna agree on this one. The thing that has me worried is if it is in fact the fact that it was a fabrication, the effect it will have on future abductions, kidnappings, disappearances of people of color, and the coverage they get from now on.
You know, it's like, sometimes it's funny because I wanted to say that. That was literally going to be the next thing I was going to say. And yes, that's the thing I'm worried about. And I'm mad about it too, because
that part,
because finally there's some actual energy. The same energy that they put towards any of these other stories, and all that.
Yes.
The dead white girl thing is a real thing. I'm sorry, guys. Okay.
Very much so.
But now they actually put in some effort and some time, and now we might be getting bamboozled.
Right.
I'm mad. I'm mad about it, because it's like, damn, now everybody's going to hesitate to give that same energy for that next person that gets taken, because it's coming. There will be another person that's taken against their will, just like this again. And everyone's going to be scratching their heads going, is that really right? Is that really real?
Should we even report on this at this point? You know what I mean? Because reporting. We don't get the same airplay.
Yeah.
Period. So this alone, that's why I'm just like, my God, I don't want anything to have happened to her. Okay. I'm just happy she's alive. Okay.
No doubt.
However, the effect and the impact that this could have, if it is in fact a fabrication, is something that could truly affect anything moving forward for people of color in regards to this very thing: abductions, kidnapping,
exactly,
etc. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And that is something that more than likely will happen if it is in fact a fabrication. Now, if it was a mental health thing, right? I mean, we can't really be upset about that because it's something mental. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what was in her head. That's a real thing. Mental health is a huge issue, especially in the Black community, that does not get addressed as much as it should be.
All day.
Okay. Let's just be real. Let's keep it a buck. Right. So that's why I want to believe that at the very least it was that. I don't want it to be that it was fabricated, because again, the impact that could have for future coverage and anything else that happens moving forward, it's going to be drastic, Pac. It's going to be drastic. And we literally are on the same page with that.
Oh, because there's a lot of, I cover as many stories as I can. Literally, I cover as many stories as I can. But I noticed that every time that I cover a story that has to do with somebody who's a person of color, it tends, unless it's like Rudy Farias, which is a sensational story, and just the wildest story. But a lot of times, whenever you cover a story like this, it doesn't get the eyeballs, right? People just kind of go, meh.
Right.
But what happened to Samantha? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And everyone's like, but Samantha.
Right. But Karen.
They don't care. They don't give a damn about LaQuisha. I'm being real. I'm being straight real, and it's frustrating. So then finally this moment happens. It's like, damn. I'm hoping that this is a mental health crisis. I'm hoping, but now that we're getting more information, it does make you wonder, what the hell. The other piece I want to point out too, just in the as far as the story goes, okay. Where did she go? If this was a mental health break,
That part.
where the did she go?
Right.
She took the lemon pepper wings. She took all the snacks with her. Okay. She even had those little, the mini Reese's peanut butter cups, not the big ones, the mini ones that are individually like wrapped in ish. I'm telling you, she had all that ish, and she took that stuff somewhere. Where did she go? If it was a mental health break,
why are
did
you
she
leaving your
distribute-
wig if it's fabricated?
And also that too. Then also, people were combing through every nook and cranny of where she went missing.
Yeah.
Right? Where did she go?
That is such a looming
left
question.
and I'm wondering if she had her credit card on her or her debit card, but did she have cash on her? And
Right.
most hotels don't take cash unless you're going to some, or don't take money from you unless
Right.
you have an ID. Does she have
Mhm.
her ID on her? Like, I'm wondering what else was going on here. Also, what was the last few moments that she had before she left work? How was her demeanor? Who
Right.
was she on the phone with before she left work? Were there any text messages? That phone, by the way, will
It's
give us so
crucial.
much information. And apparently the police do have possession of her phone.
Oh,
So
they're gonna keep that.
I'm sure they're deep diving into that.
They're gonna keep that.
Even the text messages that she even deleted, I'm sure they're retrieving that stuff to find out
Absolutely.
if it's a hoax. They're able to sit there and go, we can go find all your deleted ish real with the quickness. So it's so weird. Me earlier was leaning on the side of mental health. I mean, I'm still kind of clinging onto that. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
it's a runaway train. Like, it's about to rip
It
my hand off.
really, it's derailing at this point.
But I don't know.
Oh, also, when she was in the hospital, when there's a mental break, whatever, right?
Mhm.
There are things that the hospital does too, right? Mental
Oh,
health
yeah.
holds. Okay.
But she was let go.
So nothing was released about that type of thing occurring either.
She was let go.
Again,
Hours later, she was let go. So clearly
Right.
she was of sound of mind and body. And of
Yep.
course, if there was a rape kit conducted or used, that usually I've talked to a couple people that I know, a couple friends that are in the field. And they said it's like at most 4 hours. If that is if she actually was,
right.
SA'd, okay?
Right.
And only if she was SA'd.
Mhm.
But if they just brought her in and she was just in a frozen shock phase, yeah, I mean, they would just basically make sure she's hydrated, check her vitals.
Right.
I'm sure that's when police got her brief statement,
Right.
and then they were like, "Well, we need to get her home, right?" And then
Right.
she went home. So this is some crazy stuff. Unfortunately,
It is.
I gotta wrap it up.
Yes.
But again, guys, and Sandy, I mean, actually, where do you stand right now? Yeah, where do you stand?
I want it to be, look, like I said, I want it to be a mental health break. But this story is unraveling, you guys. There is
Yeah.
so much more to this story that's not being told. I personally believe the parents know at least some of what happened, and they're in protection mode. Okay, the fact that they're not making her accessible either to the authorities that need to get the information needed to conduct all of that is going on for them to determine what happened is a good indicator of something going on. So for me, I pray that it was something like that. Right. I don't want to wish that she was abducted to make this story stick. I just hope it's more so along the lines of the mental health thing versus it being an entirely fabricated story with the potential or possibility of their parents, her parents trying to protect her now that they know what could have potentially happened. Right. But I don't think that's going to be the case.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's
I
just there's so many things that are not sounding like that's what it was.
yeah, I
You
will
know what I
say,
mean?
yeah, no,
What do you think at this point?
well, one thing I do want to make sure that this is said. But a rape kit takes 30 minutes max. It's too traumatic to take 4 hours. You're absolutely and thank you for that
Thank you,
correction. But they said like she would just be at round trip would be like she'd be in there. They'd probably run the test and then they'd hold her for a few hours and then let her go.
Right.
So that during that time, during those few hours, that's when they would conduct the kit. But thank you for that correction.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, and this other part, this is what I'm saying. Well, this is what I've been saying.
Right.
This needs to be that, because if it's not, one, her life is over. Her life is over. No one's going to hire her. She is going to lose anything that she's working towards as far as her nursing, becoming a nurse, so on and so forth. Her job. I mean, Hoover.
Potential criminal
Hoover,
charges too.
The city of Hoover, or the town, or the people of Hoover are not going to let it up if this is a bold-faced lie.
Yeah.
So it has to be a mental health crisis.
Yep.
She has no other choice.
Yep.
Okay. Even though if she even also wants to save her own butt and continue with the lie, she still needs to lean on mental health, if that makes
They should have leaned on that in the Today Show interview. The parents should have just been like, this is what happened. They would have shut the door. People would have been a little bit, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. And it would have just had to fall by the wayside.
But I think with that, okay, because we got to wrap up here very quickly. But with that information in mind, I am leaning more on the side of mental health. I still am. But there is information here that does make you wonder what the F is going on, especially with the dramatics, like the theatrics of it all now. The fact that she went somewhere else and got more snacks and stuff like that. It seems like some people are thinking that she was plotting. This entire time. She was like, okay, I'm going to be gone for a couple of days, so maybe I should go pick up some snacks. You see what I'm saying? Here's some food. Maybe she really wasn't buying food for the family. Maybe she was picking up food for herself. So not food for the family, but enough for her to get through 48 hours. Right. And maybe she ran out of food and said, I can't do and realized, holy crap, everyone's talking about me. I'm on the news now? Okay, I got to go home. I got to wrap this up. I didn't know it was going to be this big. Damn.
Right. If she's walking around someplace, they're going to recognize her. They're looking for her. Do you see what I'm saying?
If it's on that side, it's no bueno. Okay.
Right.
It's no bueno. No bueno. So I'm hoping that I'm right. I'm hoping on the side of mental health. If it is fully fake, But I do think, and this is my prediction. 5-0 is going to come up with a lot during this live press conference. They're going to come up with receipts, and all of them receipts are going to be extremely damning for her. This is my prediction.
Yep.
Okay. But they're not going to sit there and say, maybe they won't. I don't think they're going to say flat out, this was a full on hoax, everybody. I don't think they're going to say that out loud. Right off the bat. Maybe they're going to do some more investigation into everything, and then they'll come up with their final decision on that if it is an actual hoax. I think what they're going to say is, this is the information that we have, and then the world is going to be up in arms all over again. They're going to show ring camera footage, so on and so forth. Oh, this is the other thing I wanted to point out. When she pulled over on the highway, through those woods, over the river and through the woods, to the grandmother's house we go. On the other side, of the woods is apparently a really nice neighborhood. There's a road and there's a really, really nice neighborhood, allegedly. Okay. I haven't done a map time or anything on that, but from what I've been hearing, there's a really nice neighborhood. I'm sure there's ring camera footage of her either jumping into another ride and driving off, or just walking down the street, or fighting with an abductor. And I'm hoping they're going to show us that footage as well. Again, This is going to be very interesting.
We shall see.
I'm still on the side of she did something for show. But I don't know. But we're going to see
y'all.
And I will say this, I will be on at around 1:45 p.m. Central Standard Time just to get us nice and ready, because I got some other things I want to talk to you guys about, some other pieces of information and all that. I think Sandy's going to be joining me for a little bit as well to hop on and just see this with our own two eyes and, react as well.
Quite interesting, guys.
Yeah, because the thing starts at 2:30. Just so you know, Sandy.
Yep.
So if you got time to hop on at that time, I think that would be very, very good.
That would be dope.
And anyway, guys, what say you? Comment down below.
Please let us know down below. Let us know down below. Let's be respectful of each other, because I know this is a very divisive situation.
Exactly.
But we definitely want to hear and know your thoughts. So comment down below and let us know.
And also, don't call each other racist just because someone thinks that she faked this. Stop that noise. Just stop it. We don't know. We all have our theories. Let's be kind to each other. It doesn't mean just because you don't think she actually was taken does not mean that person hates black women or something. Come on, y'all. Come on. All right. So anyway, guys, we'll be seeing you guys very soon. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Don't forget to do that if you appreciated the conversation. Hit that subscribe button. Crush that subscribe button. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers here. We're almost at 1,000. So hit that subscribe button if you appreciated the conversation. All right. Yes. And again, Corinne just asked, what time zone are you guys? Central Standard Time, CST. So it is 12:41 right now. I could go back on in about an hour. Okay. So I'll be back on at 1:45 on my channel. Sandy will be joining me there at around probably like 2:30 or something, or whenever she decides to hop on. Okay.
Yep.
So I'll be seeing you guys there, or we will be seeing you guys there. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll be seeing you guys very soon. Have a good one, guys.
We love y'all. Mwah. See you guys soon. Bye.
Later.